Playing us in.
Do it.
Welcome to Earl and the Idiot, the show that gives you the answers you need to take your business to the next level. With Earl Flormata, one of Vancouver's most sought-after business and marketing consultants, author of Business Engine Optimization, consultant to over 60 successful businesses, an all-around evil marketing genius with a combined total of more than $70 million worth of sales to his credit. And some idiot. Okay, here we go.
Oh my God, I'm living up to some idiot today.
Oh no.
It's such a day. Oh yeah. I don't know. I've complained about Google's user interface before, so I won't spend too much time doing it again. But
Oh
you'll,
no.
you'll like I was just trying to solve this problem for my client today. Not even a marketing thing, just a technical thing to then do marketing with. Just
Right.
connecting an email to a CRM to
Hmm.
his so we can communicate so we can email to his customers. And the absolute nightmare. I spent like the last half of my entire day. I was trying to think of a good analogy that conveys how frustrated I was. And
Integration
I
is I think the only thing more frustrating than integration is CSS.
oh yeah, yeah. Don't deal with CSS much these days. I use all kinds of you use a website builder with a visual
Right.
interface, and that's fine. But yeah, I could the way I felt is I got you got a little paper cut. Start with
Yeah.
a paper cut. And you're like, oh, this paper cut kind of hurts. I better clean it up. And it's bleeding a little bit. You're like, okay, well, I'll just dab that with a napkin. And you dab it with a napkin, and it opens it up a little bit more. It bleeds a little bit more. And you're like, oh, geez. So you dab it with a napkin again, and it bleeds a little more. You're like, oh shit. And so then you go get a band-aid. I gotta put a band-aid on it. Put the band-aid on, and the band-aid doesn't stick. It just falls right off.
Right.
And you grab another band-aid, you put it on, and it doesn't stick, and it falls right off. And then you look at the box of band-aids. The box of band-aids is expired, so they don't work anymore. So you're like, well, I'm going to go to the store and get some more band-aids. And you go to the door and you turn the knob and the doorknob falls off.
Right.
And they're like, well, now I need my drill to fix the doorknob. And you go get your drill and the
Better.
battery's not charged.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you go to charge the battery, you plug the battery in, and that socket doesn't work. And it's just like, oh my God.
Yeah. Some days it's
And
just
literally, I'm dealing with my client's email, and it's through Gmail. And so it wants to send a confirmation code. I had to send in the space of half an hour, I had to send him 7 codes.
oh man. That's rough.
I mean, my client's trying to run his business. He's got his own frustrations to deal with. And it's like, once I've sent you a code and I'm at an IP address and I'm on a device, so realize I'm cool. I won't have the phone more or less the next time you ask me for it. If I
Hmm.
had the phone and I got the passcode, I'm in the clear. Just
Yeah.
approve me from there on
Let
out
me do
until I
my
log out
thing.
or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's
And then and then and then when I finally thought I'd finished it, I was like, okay, I've actually made some progress here. I think I got a solution. I just need one more code. And I send it to the client, and now he hasn't answered me the rest of the day. He's like busy, too busy to look at his phone.
there you go.
Oh my God.
You know,
Oh,
it's,
all right.
some days are just like that, right? It's just,
Some
one
user
step
interfaces are just like
forward,
that.
3 steps back, and then you fall over.
Yeah, exactly. How's your day going? I hope your day's better than mine.
Well, I ran into you on the way to another meeting, and then I had
That's
some
true.
good meetings, and then now I'm back home, so I'm relaxed and chill. And I didn't get any what was it called? Some snow showers is what the thing said that might happen. So I'm like, ugh, that doesn't sound
Oh yeah,
pleasant. Snow
a snow
showers.
shower. Yeah,
So
when it's snowing, but then as soon as it hits you, it melts immediately and turns to slush. And you get that inch of it's like water that doesn't go anywhere.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like Slurpee texture, and so it's wet enough to soak your shoes, but not liquid enough to drain off into the drain.
Right. So it's Slurpee Day.
Yeah, Slurpee day. There you go.
Yeah.
That should be a weather term. Today will
Slurp.
be partly
It
partly
is
Slurpee.
Slurpee. Cloudy with a chance of meatballs slash Slurpee.
Yeah. Yes. All right.
So
Yeah. So don't expect a good show out of me today. My heart's not in it.
For people who have no idea what the hell's going on,
Let's do that. Yeah.
let's start from
So
there.
let's start from there. So the show is called Earl and the Idiot. We have seated across from me electronically one Earl, evil marketing genius, the man with all the answers. I feel like I could be a circus barker with my cane. Here, step right up. The man with all the answers, the all-seeing, all-knowing Earl. And I'm here playing the role of an idiot. I'm just pretending. I'm not really an idiot, I think. I'm here to ask the stupid questions to get the smart answers, because you only find out the information if you're willing to admit you don't know. You're willing to be the idiot.
Got to be brave enough to ask and or try. So
exactly. So I'm here as a man with no shame whatsoever to ask the stupidest possible questions that you probably are thinking at home, but you don't want to say it out loud.
Tell us about your background today.
So background today, this is pretty impressive, actually. So today we're talking about using training courses, right? So I figured something school related. And as soon as I thought school related, I thought Norman Rockwell.
Okay.
You familiar with Norman Rockwell?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just asked AI, I said, do me a drawing in the style of Norman Rockwell. And I said, of a child that is having difficulty with a child at school who's having difficulty with his studies.
There you go.
And I feel like the portrayal of frustration here,
he looks
like, I didn't say make him frustrated. I just said make him look like he's having trouble, and it's done it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's really, really in the style of Norman Rockwell. I had this other one before. I had this one before, but his eyes were freaking me out. It looks like a frog or something.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
But I feel like the painting style of this, like, it really looks like a Norman Rockwell.
Yeah.
It's freaky. I mean, it's wild. It's like, your favorite artist might be dead, but you can keep getting paintings from him thanks to AI.
Yeah, there you go. I know. I think our show has changed for the better, like I said, since we did this whole new AI model. It's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah.
So AI background, AI questions, AI answers, and then we just run commentary.
I feel like someone's got to form a repository of things that were created before AI. You know what I mean? Like they have that seed bank in Norway.
Right.
In case there's a doomsday, you got all the seeds, you can replant all the crops or whatever. It's in the Arctic permafrost under the Slurpee. And we need to do that for art, writing, and drawing that predate AI.
Right.
So there's always a repository of before AI got up and started creating stuff.
A lot of time we used to make this stuff by hand.
Yeah, this is all the human created stuff. And then if you then gave AI access to that vault, then it wouldn't have this sort of feedback loop. It's like it's looking at AI and imitating AI, which then imitates AI, which then imitates AI.
The copy of the copy gets as worse as you go, right?
Yeah. So we need to establish the works of the anthropomorphic works. No, not morphic. Anthropological works of humanity.
Pre-AI.
Pre-AI. Anyway, that got deep and weird. I told you, don't expect a good show from me. I'm going to be all over the place.
All right.
Keep using that as an excuse. All right. So we have a question. We'll dive right in here. 14 minutes on. That's not too bad. We got 20 before.
Oh yeah.
So you suggested this question. I have a client dealing with this right now. We asked of AI. So we had this, as Earl said before, we ask AI to give us this information and then we discuss it. And we found that's a better way to go. We just have a natural conversation about what AI comes up with rather than try to script a show. It ironically, using artificial AI lends to a more natural sounding show, ironically.
Well, beats reading from the script, right? So there you go.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird. You can always tell when someone's reading from a script.
Yep.
I think we discussed this before.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why the great actors are great actors. They're the only ones who have the skill of making you feel like they're not reading from the script. Anyway, to read from the script. Today we asked AI, acting as a marketing expert, What are ways to utilize creation of a training course to help grow your business? Please give 3 reasons to use a course to build your business, 2 things to watch out for or avoid, and 1 red hot tip how to use a course to grow your business. Red hot tip.
Red hot tip.
Red hot tip. All right, let's find out. Let's dive right into it. So, under the 3 things, 3 good reasons, 3 pros. Establish number 1 is establish authority and credibility. Offering a well-designed training course in your niche can position you as an authority figure in your industry. By sharing your expertise and knowledge through the course, you not only provide value to your audience, but also demonstrate your credibility. This can lead to increased trust among potential customers and clients, ultimately driving business growth.
So,
Earl?
yeah, I totally agree. I mean, here's the funny thing. Even if this goes back to we were talking about making a podcast, writing a book, getting interviewed. The hilarious thing is, even if they don't consume the content, so, you tell people, oh, I have a podcast or I wrote a book. Even if they never read your book, you are now heralded as an authoritative figure because you stood out from the rest and wrote a book. So the same thing would be said about writing a course. Well, if you're teaching it, you gotta know it. So, and the hilarious thing is that's not always necessarily true. But
No, anyway,
the perception
you can put a course
is,
together.
because I've seen people who taught a course that should not be teaching courses. And I took the course, I'm like, this is terrible. And but because they were teaching the course, they were heralded as the gospel truth of hey, this is the shining North Star. This should be the example for our industry, even though it should not. Very, very much should not have been.
But that's the impression.
Perception, and perception is everything. So when it says establish authority and credibility, absolutely 100%. If you write a course and you put it out there and you're like, I am the teacher, right? That's it. Just right away. Yeah, everyone just goes for it.
Yes, but I suppose you should probably do your best to make it a good course because someone might take it and realize you don't know what you're talking about.
But that's the thing. Actually, here's a controversial piece.
I love controversial pieces.
So there's a well-known author, I won't name names. There's a well-known author in the business space that's actually never run a business. But yet his stuff is heralded as the gospel truth. And the funny thing is, if you look at his stuff, a lot of it is just basic building blocks that you can't really screw up, So, it doesn't really matter if he's ran a business or not. These basic building blocks are just straight up logic, right? Like if you don't have this, you can't have a business. Well, duh, right? But because he's talking about it, again, he's still heralded as the go-to guru on the mountaintop that you have to, climb a million stairs to go visit. And whether he knows it or not, those basic fundamentals, it's really hard to screw up the fundamental, right? Like, hey, do this. And if you don't do this, you don't have a business, right? So right or wrong, right? It's still a fundamental. It's hard to argue that, right? So there you go. So again, establishing authority, credibility. He did it. Never run a business except for his own, right? And
when you go to business networking things, the number of business coaches you run into who are like 26 and have never run a business in their lives, and they're like, I'm a business coach. Like, okay. That's bold of you.
Yeah, bold. Exactly. So it depends on the people though. Like I do know an actual 26-year-old business coach who is straight up amazing now, right? And the thing is, it was I think 4 years in the making. So it took 4 years of this dude beating his head against the wall, understanding stuff. And the funny thing is, it's dependent on the quality of the learning, right? It's the quality that you spend your time doing. I always make fun of it when someone says, "Oh yeah, I got 10 years experience, 20 years experience doing this thing," and they've not tried a new thing in 10 years. I'm like, well, then you have 1 year 10 times, not 10 years. Right? So this guy tries something new at my behest every week, right? And half the time falls in his face because that's how stuff works when you're 20, right? And the thing is, when they do work, he takes it and holds onto it and like grim death and makes a run. And so this guy's crushing it now. So I got to watch him for real today for the first time run a coaching session with somebody making way more money than him. And the neat part was he was asking deeper questions, probing questions, all these cool things that you can only get from experience. And again, it's not necessarily the years that they've been doing it, it's the quality of the year, right? So if this guy tried something new every week for a year, that's 52 things he's tried. Who cares how many worked and how many failed? That's way more than the average business owner who tries maybe one, two, three, if you're lucky, things a year, right? So there you go. So 4 years, this guy has packed in, 10 years of experience. So
Mhm.
it's come a long way, which I'm really, I was proud to watch that. I'm like, hey, that's really cool.
That's interesting.
So you
So let
can
me
have
ask
a
you
good
this:
26-year-old business coach. They're just rare and few and far between.
few and far
So
between, and they got to be a real special kind of person who's really actually tried stuff. I just, most of them I encounter just have this sort of arrogance of like, let me tell you how to run your business. It's like, run a business if you're so smart, and then coach for fun afterwards.
mm,
Hmm.
yeah. Well, there's
Or
also the counter argument to what we just talked about, those who can't teach. So
right.
so there's also that.
Um, Let me ask you this. So this is maybe too stupid a question, but what is, so it says they establish credibility. What's the advantage of establishing credibility? Why does that matter?
Well, the point is you hire an expert because they're the expert, right?
Hmm.
And when you're establishing credibility, you were more expert than before. And if you're teaching a course, you're more of the guru, you're more of an expert, you're more. And so these are all positioning things, right? So if someone has a course, has been interviewed, has been on the news,
Hmm.
published a book, published multiple books, you know, it just adds more to the fact that either this guy's really good at lying out of his ass,
Yeah.
or he's a friggin', champion at this. And more likely it's going to be the latter, where they're probably a champion. If 10 people interviewed them, if he was a complete and utter moron,
Hmm.
it stops after the first or second interview. Like, why would eight more
Yeah.
people
Right.
bother to interview this guy if there was nothing there, right? So
So, but then the idea is once you've established credibility, that's what? So that'll increase your sales because people want to do business with you. Is that the
well,
idea?
once you increase credibility, people want to do business with the person who knows what they're doing, right? So um, I find that people aren't afraid on in general to spend money, but they want to spend money on quality, right? So they want to make sure that their hard-earned dollars are going someplace where they're going to see a return. And more likely than not, if the guy's teaching a course and this course isn't completely horrible, they know what they're doing.
Hmm.
So there you go. There's credibility behind that.
Nice. All right, let's rocket forward to number two. Generate leads and build a community. A training course can serve as a powerful lead magnet by offering valuable content for free or at low cost. You can attract potential customers who are interested in your products or services. Additionally, the course can be used as a platform to build a community around your brand. Interesting. Engaging with course participants through discussion forums, live Q&A sessions, or exclusive webinars can foster a sense of belonging and loyalty, leading to repeat business and referrals.
So I would say, yeah, absolutely. Generating leads and building a community is something that you can get out of building a course. So I can't remember the person who did this one, but I saw them build a course on the fly based on the market asks. And I don't remember who did this now, but I watched them do it. They polled the community. They started building their own little mini community. They then polled the mini community and go, well, what's the biggest problem? And then everybody voted on it. And then, okay, well, I'm going to make this thing that teaches you how to fix that problem. And while he built this thing for free, everybody could just participate. Everybody wanted to support this person because they were building this thing that was so useful to the community. So they're like, hey, let's become part of this. And because they helped, they got credit in the building of the thing. And so now their names are on the creator board of the people who made this course and people who've contributed to this program. So they're singing from the rooftops, sharing this program that's now for sale, right? It's no
Hmm.
longer free, right? So they did one module at a time for free. And then when the whole thing was compiled and ready to go, they took all the free ones down, put it up for, hey, this has value now. Ta-da! And that built leads, that built a community, it built future prospects for this person. It built, yeah, it just, here's the legend of so and so. They built the course for free while we all watched. This was an amazing course, and he got a bajillion testimonials. So
Right.
yeah, there you go.
Boy, that really answers up to that point there, doesn't it? That's
Yeah,
exactly what he did.
it's a
And
course. I
now
watched.
generating leads like a little more of a that sounds like a very innovative and exciting project, but in a more boring sort of way, you can offer a course on your website and it becomes a thing that people look for, show up, do, and get connected to your brand. Like I know the Hoth SEO guys
Mm,
offered me a free course on something I was interested in, link building, I think. And yeah, signed up, took the course.
yep. And sometimes we use them as a vendor to build certain link types things. So yeah, works great.
So you recommend that course for that course of action of having a course?
But
But
yes.
it's not intentional. I'm not smart enough today to come up with a joke that good on purpose.
Pun intended. Um,
Hmm.
Alex Ramosi, the guy who runs acquisitions.com, he's trying to get to 100 million or some crazy number. And he started with nothing and now he's building up the new empire. And he heavily just invested in this platform called School, Skool. And School is all about building a course, building a community, and teaching them stuff. And so yeah, he just became the heaviest investor in School. So he's got a lot of followers. He's a smart cookie. So if he's heading that direction, clearly there's something there.
Hmm. Interesting. Can I invest in School? Is it public yet?
I don't know. I don't think it is.
All right. Look into that later. All right. Number 3. I think we're a little bit ahead of the time here, but say la vie. If it's a short episode today, I can go back to beat my head against the wall when we're done.
Integration's a fun thing, right?
Yeah. Number 3, diversify revenue streams. Creating a training course allows you to diversify your revenue streams beyond your core products or services. You can monetize the course through one-time purchases, subscriptions, or even affiliate partnerships. This additional income can provide stability for your business and reduce reliance on fluctuating sales from other offerings. This is kind of the same thing when we talked about a book the other week. Do you agree with this one this time? You disagreed with it for the book.
So the difference though is that the book is the book, the course is the course. There's
Of
more
course.
people who take the course and will go for it, then it's still low, right? So industry standard is less than like south of 10% completion ratio. So people will buy a course, do a part of it, and then abandon ship. And it's still the case, but there are more people who start the course and fail to continue, right? Than there are people who crack open the damn book. There's people who just buy the book, collect it, and they assume they're going to learn through osmosis, right? If I touch the book, maybe I will, take some of this wisdom with me. The
Are you
course,
accusing me of having like 3 half-finished books on my nightstand right now? Because I'm
I
not
have
going to
like,
stand around for that wild accusation.
oh, I have like, I'm just as bad. I probably have 50 books I own that I haven't read, right? So,
Oh,
and
that I'm just talking about on my nightstand, like ones I'm actively sort of trying to get through.
oh yeah, no, I've bought at least 50 and then never even cracked them, like never even opened them, never even looked on the inside. It's just like, well, why did you buy the book for? Osmosis. Shut up. And
Yeah,
so
I just I throw the books on the ground like mud in a pig pen and just roll around in them.
that's right. I'm going to learn like Scrooge McDuck swimming through the money. So
Now you're talking. That's how I
there
want to
you
learn.
go.
It's also how I want to get rich.
But diversifying revenue streams on the course side, because of the nature of courses, because we talked about building a community. Some courses are subscription based, and because they're subscription based, people pay for access to this plus all the new versions of it plus da 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 ongoing, or they pay a one-time fee or whatever. So there's more ways to diversify the revenue stream of a course than there are for a book, because no one's going to buy your book on monthly payments, right?
Yeah.
So there you have it. So this one, it's a half agree, but it's more of a degree than the book version of this. So diversifying revenue streams, absolutely.
Okay.
The thing is, courses done well, if you do them right, they allow you to scale versus grow. And so there's a difference. When there's growth, if you grow a warehouse and you get a bigger warehouse, you got to pay more rent, more people, more forklifts to make that warehouse space usable. Otherwise, you just got a bunch more space, you're not using it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's added cost to it to continue growing that type of thing. I want to make a bigger restaurant. Well, I got to pay more rent payment, lease payment, and I get more space, and I got to keep paying for that. Whereas a course, because of the nature of the course, space on the internet is so cheap these days on Amazon, on Dropbox, on Google Drive, whatever you want, pick your poison. But because it's so cheap, it ends up scaling. And scaling means that it's not like you're going to increase your cost of goods, increase what it costs to put these things out there in accordance to sales. So if your sales go boom and go crazy and it's just they're going to the moon, it doesn't increase your Amazon fee that much more comparatively speaking versus adding a wing to your restaurant, right? So there you have it. So that's how come. Yeah, I agree with this revenue stream a little more because there's just more options.
Right. And then when it talks about affiliate partnerships, is it just talking about like running ads on the site with your course on it?
No, it's about finding other people to promote your course and your program because they don't like making their own courses, but they like promoting other people's courses. But there's tons of people who make all their money just doing that. They find cool things that they like and then they promote them. That's it. So that's a whole nother channel. If they did that to your book, you make 50 cents. Yay, one-time shot. Whereas if they do it to the courses typically have better margins, higher prices, ongoing payment options. So there you have it.
Nice. All right. All right. Things to watch out for. 2 of them. Overcomplicating content. Avoid the temptation to include every detail and piece of information in your course. Overloading participants with too much content can lead to overwhelm and diminish the learning experience. Focus on delivering courses, concise, actionable lessons that address the most pressing needs of your target audience.
I prefer shorter courses. I
Who
complete
doesn't?
them, right?
Yeah.
You're paying for the condensing of time and knowledge, right? So, some guy flexing that he's got 1,000 freaking video course, that does not help sell me, because oh yeah, there's a bajillion videos. Yay, I don't want the bajillion videos. I want what they give me, right? I want the knowledge, the transformation, the thing that happens at the, hey, teach me this. Cool, I got this. If you can teach it to me in a shorter time frame, I'm happy to pay more money for that. So agreed.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely true. I was looking down the barrel of a course the other day. It was like, 8 videos. I'm like, okay, I can do 8 videos, 8 3-minute videos broken up.
Yeah.
Sure.
As long
But
as
if they were like
delivers
47 videos, I'd be like, well, I'm not
yeah,
interested in that.
ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of want, like you could have a 47 video course, but just make each one its own. Learn this skill, learn that skill, learn the other skill. Because if I see 47, I'm like, well, I got to sit down and like devote a week to this to learn everything he's trying to say. Whereas if you're going to take, you got a 3-minute long video, like even that, you look up, how do I blah? There's a 3-minute video and there's an hour and 30-minute video. So give me the 3-minute one.
You have to earn the right to get the bigger videos, right? So, if I don't know you from a hole in the wall, there's no way in hell I'm watching a 47-minute video of your first thing, right? Because I don't know you. I don't know if you're good. I don't know if you're an expert, right? So, yeah, and for whatever reason, I think that now that you brought it up, that's a funny observation because technically, most courses are done in video format now, but yet any Yahoo can upload whatever you want to YouTube, right? So the funny thing is that the threshold is the same. It's essentially the same. Creating a course is a series of videos. You could just have a one video course, or you just upload crap to YouTube. And the funny thing is the intrinsic value. When someone goes, "I have a YouTube video," yay, good for you, right?
Yeah.
Versus, "I made a course. It's one video on YouTube." Magically, it's better, right? So who knew?
Yeah. So don't say don't say I have a video. Say I made a course. I created a course in how to do this.
Right.
It's a 3-minute long course. and it's in the form of a video, you can look it up on YouTube. It's like, oh, interesting. Not,
Positioning is
oh, you mean
everything.
you just,
Positioning is everything.
uh, exactly. All right, cool. That sounds good. Two, neglecting feedback and iteration. Oh, I don't know what that means. Maybe you can explain to me. It is essential to collect feedback from course participants and iterate on your content. Does that mean revise? Is that what they're saying?
Yes, iterate means to revise.
No, it doesn't. And that's one of those things like, oh, I'm trying to think of something. Oh yeah. Um, I asked a salesman I was talking to one time. He said, there's a better price point on this model. And I said, can you tell me the difference between the word price point and the word price? And he was
No,
like, no, I cannot. I was like, exactly.
it
It just
just
sounds
sounds.
better somehow. I'm going to iterate this. No, you're going to revise it. Anyway, my own objections to the use of language aside, iterate on your content based on their input. Ignoring feedback or failing to update your course content can result in a stagnant growth. See it again. I don't know. I guess it's just AI here. Stagnant growth is not a thing.
It's an oxymoron, like jumbo shrimp in military intelligence and government service.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. Um, Negative stagnant growth and declining engagement. Continuously improve your course to ensure it remains relevant and valuable to your audience. Well,
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue that. Clearly, if you made a course or whatever, and if you don't update it and it's old, it doesn't work no more. Well, you're not gonna be much use to anybody. So there you go. So
see, I was right. Damn it. Iterate means to say or do again and again. Repeat.
yes,
No matter how many times I iterate this so-called prank, no matter how many times I iterate that this so-called prank is a bad idea, no one listens. So just to say or do again and again. It doesn't mean change. It doesn't mean update. It doesn't mean revise. I'm disappointed. Anyway, moving on. Red hot tip to using a course to grow your business. Here's AI with the hot insight. It says, instead of merely providing information, aim to deliver a transformational experience to your course participants. Clearly define the desired outcome or result they can expect to achieve by completing the course and structure the content and activities to guide them toward that goal. When participants see tangible results from your course, they're more likely to become loyal customers and advocates for your brand.
I'd say.
So,
I mean, that's what people want, period, right? Whether it's a
yeah.
product, whether it's a service, whether it's a whatever. And the course is no different. If you create a transformational experience, this is old and busted. This is the new hotness. Want to get to the new
Hmm.
hotness? Do this. Yeah. So I agree wholeheartedly. Make a transformational experience, and when people go through that quote unquote transformation, hey, the course did what it was supposed to do.
So, to what degree is this just a sort of promise what you deliver and deliver what you promise kind of thing? Like, tell people what they're going to get out of it, rather than just being like, "Here's a
It
course," or like,
is, but it's also explain to them their problem to them better than they can explain it to you. So they
Mhm.
feel heard, right? And then explain to them what does it feel like to get to that end solution, right? What would happen if you didn't fix this problem? Okay, now you hit this problem, you fixed it, but now what? What do you feel? How does it make you feel, et cetera, et cetera? And that feeling of that transformation from I was here and now I'm there and I'm happy, right? Because that's what I wanted. That's why I bought the damn thing.
Mhm.
That's where you get that transformational experience. I'll give you like a personal example, right? So I have type 2 diabetes, and apparently it's reversible. And so I paid for this dude to teach me how to make it go away, and it's working. I'm like, holy crap. So, it's this the numbers are going down, the bad numbers are going down, the good numbers are going up. It's testable. It's I can see
Demonstrable.
it in blood tests, and I'm like, oh wow, he's not just full of crap. I'm like, this actually works. And so, that is a transformational experience, right? And so that transformation, it was worth it for me to become part of his program because I got what I wanted. I got the result that I was going after. So that's a transformation. I'm a happy customer. I will talk about them all day long.
Beautiful. So that's kind of a question of making sure what you're teaching people is something that's going to make a big change in their lives.
Actually help them, yeah.
Yeah. I did a course that is like, study this course and you'll never have problems with integrating technology ever again.
Yeah, that's a high promise.
That would be transformative.
Absolutely, but that's a lie and a half. Yeah, yeah, it's good for now, but next week we're gonna add a bunch more crap and move all the buttons because for Facebook, so screw you. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I found so many I found so many things today that were like, oh, just go here, click on this, and then click on that. I'm like, okay, great. Click on this, and there's no that.
yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Oh my gosh. You
And
know, for
actually,
this show, to
yeah.
get this show onto Twitter was like pulling teeth because in the middle of Elon buying everything, Twitter changed their location to set all this live streaming stuff up. And to this date, I'm so scared to change the Twitter settings because I don't know what'll happen if I do, because I don't think I can get back on again. So I'm actually quite horrified. I'm like, I don't want to change anything because if I ever change it, I can't guarantee I'll bring it back. So it's working right now. Don't touch it. So integration is always fun. Doesn't matter how many integrations you've done.
Yeah, right. Oh, so you're telling me it never gets easier. That's real hardening.
So well, because it keeps changing.
Yeah.
Frickin'
But I
Facebook.
guess this ensures people keep paying me to do the work, right?
Oh, there you go. So I think it's that
Put it on the
time.
bright side.
We're at the
It is
we're
that
at the
time.
last
Let's
part
do it.
of
I'm
the
gonna get right up
show.
close to the microphone and
So here we
it's
go.
time for hack of the week.
Hack of the week.
What is it? Hit
So
me.
my hack of the week this time is just cheat. Just cheat.
Oh,
Straight up
yes.
cheat. And
Perfect.
leverage the course in areas that are unavoidable. Leverage the course
Fine.
in areas that are unavoidable. And this is what makes it hilarious. So certain industries require this thing called continuing education or CE credits, right? If you want to maintain like a license or designation or whatever. And if your course fits into this for your sector or even like a neighboring sector, you have a built-in audience for the light or the free version of the course that you can then upsell whatever you're selling, like your product, your service, or paid courses at a later date. And the trick, though, is to wait until basically it's the last minute where they have to get it done or they lose their certification or they lose their license. So what I do is I set these things up and I wait until whenever the big convention is for this sector, or I wait until the year end where they basically have to do it or lose their license. So that way you get the maximum participation in your batch of people for the CE credit path, which means you get a bajillion people paying attention, and that's it. You kind of just win, whether your course is free, paid, whatever. I try to lead with free. I show them so much value that they're like, what the hell is the paid thing of this version? So they want to see what the paid version is. And yeah, doing this, I've done this, I don't know, half dozen times in just as many different sectors. And every time we do it, it's just like raping and pillaging. Like the competitor has no chance in hell. If you pull this off, man, everyone else is just scrambling, going, "How the hell did you do?" One of my clients gave me $1 million budget. We got $17 million worth of leads come in. I think they closed $7 million worth of this stuff, 6 or 7, I forget now. It's been a couple of years. And yeah, and they still have leads that are still talking about this stuff. And so
Hang
yeah,
on, hang on, hang on. Stop,
yeah.
stop. I'm swimming. So you're creating a course for something that requires industry credits.
Yeah. So
Give me an example. Make this concrete for me.
so an
I'm feeling a little
accountant,
lost.
right? So if you're a chartered accountant, you require continuing education credits to maintain your chartered accountant status. If you are a financial provider, like a financial service dude, you need to have CE credits. If you are a treasury professional, you need this. If you are
A
a
what professional?
doctor, a treasury professional. Treasury
Okay.
is $100 million plus businesses,
Okay.
and
Got it.
your money. Um, if you're any of these particular items, these particular things, hell, like realtors and mortgage brokers require continuing education credits, depending on which province or which state you're registered in. So you need CE credits to maintain your license. It's a requirement. So if you build a course that fits into CE credits, you now just have to structure it properly. Half your marketing's done, right?
And so, but then how does that affect marketing? Like people start searching for these things to be able to.
Well, yeah, they search for it because if your course qualifies for this stuff, you end up in this big old list of, hey, take these things, otherwise you'll lose your license. So,
Oh, you actually get yourself put onto lists.
you get yourself put on the lists, and then obviously you still market it, but because you're marketing it going, hey, it's September, right? October, November, December is left, and if you don't do this, you lose your job. Guess what? People are going to do it. Why? Because they have a gun held to their head. So my answer to this hack of the week is just friggin' cheat. Stick it. I'll just say it again. Leverage the course in areas that are unavoidable. So they have no choice. They have to take either your course or somebody else's course in this sector. Make yours sound, transformative.
Yeah. Going back to our earlier hack,
Red hot
earlier
tip.
red hot tip.
Combine the hack with the red hot tip and put them together. There you go.
Interesting. All right.
That's all I got. So cheat. Like I said, I did this a half a dozen times, and every time we do this, it's just, yeah, unstoppable.
Just so you know, that's what I want out of the hack of the week every week. Just cheat. Just cheat. Don't play by the rules.
Hack of the week, I'm going to start with just cheat. This is how you cheat.
Right. I would be satisfied if every hack began that way. Cheat. Don't play by the rules. Win.
Yeah. My old kung fu teacher said, "Don't fight, win." There's a difference. Fighting means that there's a struggle that might happen.
Yeah.
No, I
There's a
don't like
chance you might
struggle.
lose.
Just win. So
I like it. Go
good point. Yeah. Good
gouge the
argument.
eyes.
Can't fight that.
Gouge the
All
eyes,
right.
knee the groin.
There you go. All right.
The
Any
official
parting
motto of Earl and the Idiot.
comments? Any
Nope.
parting wisdom, or we should
Nope.
play us out?
Too brain dead for any of that today.
All right. Well, there we
But
go.
thank you, Earl. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, AI, for forming the backbone of our show.
Absolutely.
And
thank you, Dan, for struggling through. I know it was a rough day.
I made it. We're
We made
here.
it. We did it.
It wasn't even that short of a show. We're almost a full length show.
Yeah, absolutely. There we go. I'll play us out. Here we go.
See you next week, everybody.
Cheers, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Earl and the Idiot. We hope you learned something you can take action on this week. For more information or to contact the show, visit earlandtheidiot.com. And until next time, remember what Shakespeare said. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool.
Actually, as a quick aside for parting
what?
words, I was just interviewed on another podcast, and they're like, "Quick, what's your favorite saying?" And guess what saying came to mind? That one.
I think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. Brilliant.
Absolutely. There you go. All right, make it a good one, everybody.